Welcome to Perky Penny Paper Arts. Today I will be creating this beautiful card as part of the Save the Crafty YouTuber video hop. The Save the Crafty YouTuber video hop is a celebration of card making video tutorials created by a group of talented crafters of all different styles and levels. We are coming together over 5 days to give our viewers a chance to discover other amazing card makers and help reach monetization goals. All you have to do is watch, like the video, consider subscribing, and click the link on the video description below to hop to the next video. Let yourself be inspired. Don't forget to comment because we have tons of prizes to give away. Please indicate if you're located in the USA or international so that prizes can be awarded appropriately, as some prizes, not all, have restrictions on them. Don't forget to check back every day this week since there are 5 themed days of video hops. You never know when you'll discover your next favorite YouTuber. I love making and sharing my cards with everyone. As you can see with these examples, I'm a big fan of thinking outside the box and finding unusual ways to use my paper crafting supplies. Today's card is no exception. I will be using this beautiful Altenew needlepoint motif stamp set and the coordinating dies. These images and dies are just stunning. I love the way that every space is cut out so a single stem is created, and this has inspired me to create a card that really makes that image pop. Besides this set, I also used another older Altenew stamp set, Henna Elements. This set includes this beautiful border that was perfect for my card front. Lastly, I'll be using the Perky Penny Papers I Care stamp set that I created for Suicide Prevention Month. Check in the description below for more about how you can get this set and make a contribution to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at the same time. The first step in creating this card was to cut the die out of the front of a side-folding vertical A2 card base. I did this by placing the die slightly over the center score line using this mock-up I had created as a guide. I then secured the die to the card with some low-tack purple tape. I placed it on my die-cutting platform. In my case, it needs to be placed upside down, but no worries at all because we can use the crease to line up the top plate. After making sure everything was straight on my platform, I placed my top plate over the side of the card where the die would cut, making sure it was just slightly over the center crease. The die will not cut where the plate is not covering it. I tried using some purple tape to secure the plate to the card. This wasn't necessary, and I wouldn't suggest it in the future. After running this through the die cutting machine, I removed the purple tape and the die, and then separated the pieces I wanted to cut off from the flower stem. I just used a pair of scissors to easily snip off the excess. This created a pretty card base that we can use in several different ways. I can see using it as like a jacket for a folded vellum card, or you could use it for an actual, easel card, or even to create a gatefold card if you created 2 of these. I decided to take the easel card idea and set the card upright to create what I'm calling a tipped-over easel card. Before I go any further, I'll trim this piece down to 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, so that when the card is complete, it will fit in a typical A2 sized envelope. The next step was to create the easel. I did this by placing the card on the scoreboard and running my bone folder through the center of the die-cut front panel. Take care when you're scoring small areas. Well, I guess you're kind of scoring it. A little push is sometimes all you need. I then used my bone folder to crease the card and my easel is created. I embossed the decorative border stamp in gold on the right side of this 3 3/4 inch by 5 inch top folding vertical card, and then applied dotted adhesive to the back of it to secure it inside the die-cut card base, like so. This gives ample room for writing inside the card and a fun way to discover the message as well. I will set this aside and let's work on the watercoloring of the bloom from the stamp set. To create the beautiful bloom, I used the gold embossing powder once again, except this time I used Tim Holtz Distress watercolor cardstock. I haven't been able to order my Altenew watercolors yet, so today I'm going to use Altenew Crisp Dye inks in Midnight Violet, Razzleberry, Galactic Stream, Aqualicious, Moss, and Bamboo with a watercolor brush to color in my flower. I am by no means a watercolor expert, but I love to play. They are so easy and fun to use and look awesome when I'm done, even if I mess up a bit. I'm a big fan of this glass mat that Tim Holtz put out with Tonic Studios, especially when it comes to watercolor. I just smush the colors on the glass and spritz when needed. I get a clear picture of what my color will be, and cleanup is quick and complete. I won't spend much time on this, but I will leave you with my favorite thing about watercolors. It's often possible to erase or change the color just by adding water and blotting with a paper towel. So keep both handy and see how much fun you can have creating your own masterpieces. When the coloring was complete, I set this piece aside to dry completely. Once it was dry, I placed the dye over the image and ran it through the die cutting machine. Isn't this stunning? I'm so in love with this set. I can see so many uses for these dies and stamps. For a finishing touch, I took my Signo gel pen and dabbed some white dots on the stamens of the flower for a little pop. Now I need to attach the flower to the front of the card. Remember how we created the easel by scoring the front die-cut panel down the center? Well, now we will use that center as a guide and apply adhesive to the right side only. Be sure to lay the card flat so you don't get any adhesive on the inside of your card. Once the adhesive is applied, just place the watercolored flower onto the card base, line it up properly, and adhere. I always love including little surprises when making cards. In this case, I decided to hide the sentiment behind our pretty bloom. I closed the card and set it in my MISTI, and tried several sentiments until I was happy with the saying and how it fit under the flower. I placed the stamps on top of where I wanted them hidden, and then closed my MISTI to capture the stamps in the correct place. I then opened up the card, and after some finagling, I was able to lay it flat while stamping the sentiment. A little gold embossing powder and this card is complete. Check out how it fits perfectly in this A2 envelope. It's always fun to surprise people with these fun and dimensional cards. I hope I have inspired you to experiment with your supplies. Don't forget to check in the description of this video for all kinds of fun information, including the link to our next Video Hop participant and a link to my blog with a supply list and photographs of this project. If you enjoyed this video, it would make me so happy if you subscribed and hit the notification button so you don't miss out on my future videos. Here are some other fun videos for you to check out as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time here at Perky Penny Paper Arts.